Right before I got on the air with you, I got some news from my boyfriend that I found very shocking. I'm still digesting it. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. So all the time my boyfriend and I have been together, he has maintained his other apartment. He has his own place.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, we don't really live together. This is not his address. It's not on any of his stuff. You know, he has his address because he has his apartment. He lives somewhere else. Most of his stuff is somewhere else. He has a lot of stuff here because he's been living with me for a while. So the apartment, the rent has finally gone up. His nephew who's been staying there is moving to Arizona. So he's like, well, there's no reason for me to keep that apartment anymore. I'm going to give it up. So this is an apartment that he's had for like 20 years, like the entire time he's been in New York. This is where he's lived.
Mm-hmm.
And after all this time, he's finally giving it up because he lives with me. We live together. We've lived together for a while, but he always had the 1 foot out the door.
Mm-hmm.
So before I got on the air, he said to me, by the way, not that you check the mail, because he does that. If you check the mail, you're going to be seeing a lot of mail from me. I just changed all my mailing addresses, all my postal addresses to this address officially, like his bank account, his credit cards, his voter registration.
Okay, he's been living with you for like 10 years.
For 10 years, yeah.
So all this mail has been going to another address.
Because he doesn't really live here. He technically lives somewhere else.
He's lived there for 10 years.
No, his insurance card, his driver's license.
Does he ever go there?
Yeah, he goes there to get his mail.
Does he ever sleep at that address?
Well, he was. So we were using both apartments, but then his nephew moved here, needed a place to crash. So you're allowed to have relatives stay over. So it's a studio. Okay. So there's no way they can both stay there. So his nephew's been crashing there, but it's been his apartment the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But now that the nephew is leaving, there's no reason to have the apartment. So he's decided to let it go since he's been living with me. But he's been living with me in name, you know, like, yeah, we live together, like, quote, live. Like, we don't really, at any moment he could walk out any moment I can kick him out. He's going to have a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got nowhere else to go. Now he actually lives here. His mail is going to be coming here. It's official.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm freaking out.
You knew this day was going to come at some point.
I really didn't. I kind of pictured us old and gray and arguing
and having
over
a vacation home on 46th Street.
Yeah, no. And the thing is, it's a walk up. So I was like, well, we can't have it when we're really old because we're not going to walk up 6 flights. It's just not going to happen. So we figured at some point we'd have to give it up, but not yet. You know, I figured he'd still have an apartment and live there, but no, it's official. So he's changed his mailing address. He's changing his voter registration card.
But right now is the time to sell, to get out of that.
Sell what?
Oh, so he rents that.
Oh, yeah. He's been renting. Are you kidding?
Okay.
He's been renting that place for 20 years. It costs him nothing.
Oh. Well,
yeah, it's just rent stabilized.
Well, imagine if he would have owned it and what kind of equity he would have in it right now.
Well, if he owned it, that'd be a different story. If he owned it, then we could just rent it out to a stranger. But it's his apartment that he's been renting all these years.
Oh my God.
And you can't sublet. Yeah. Yeah. So it's official. It's he actually lives here now. His mail will be coming here.
That's the big thing. Not that he's going to be coming there. His mail's going to be coming there.
His Amazon. He changed his Amazon address to this address. Like official.
He did that 10 years ago. That's procrastination on speed. That's crazy because he's lived there for 10 years.
No, he's been staying here with me and sleeping over every night for 10 years because we're in a relationship. But this is not his apartment. This is my apartment. He has his apartment. Now this is also his apartment.
No. Boyfriend, girlfriend who sleep over occasionally is that. He's lived there.
He helped me find this apartment. He picked it out. He chose this apartment that we're living in right now.
He's not left that apartment to sleep anywhere else.
No, since the day we moved in, he has only slept here. That's true.
Yeah, it's crazy to have another place.
Well, like I said, we had it for his nephew all this time because it didn't really cost anything. And I guess I always felt in the back of my mind that if things don't work out, he's got a place to go. But now he doesn't. Now, like, this is it. He lives here. We're fucking doing this.
So
this is it.
So a fight could actually be a fight and go on and on and on and on forever because he's got nowhere to go.
But that's what I was thinking. In all the years we've been together, we have never had a fight that either one of us have said, that's it, I'm leaving. He's never walked out the door. I'm telling you, all these years, he's never slept anywhere else. He never slept on the couch. Like, we go to bed mad. If you're mad and I'm mad, we still sleep in the same bed.
And you guys fight.
We do.
It's not like a little disagreement.
No.
You've never
We're passionate. We're passionate. That's, we do everything passionately. We fight, we love, we hate, we everything. Very passionate here at Shea Cooper. But that's why we got a king size bed. King size bed is like having another apartment. We have a giant king size bed. So if we fight, he's on his end, I'm on my end. It's worked out very well. But just knowing, like, I knew all these years that he had somewhere else he could potentially go. He has let that go now. That is no longer the case. At the end of August, he will now only live here with me.
So now
where his mail is going to be coming.
Should go ahead and get married now and be done with it.
No point.
Still not going to go that far, even though he can't leave.
I have said this for 10 years. If you can give me a good reason to get married, I would do it. But so far, nobody has given me a good enough reason to get married.
Well, because it's you.
It's better for him if he doesn't marry me.
That is a huge thing for him to give up that safety pad.
But that's the thing. It wasn't. I thought it was going to be a whole thing, a discussion. Should I, shouldn't I? It was literally like his nephew said, I'm moving to Arizona. And he was like, all right, then I'm not renewing the lease. And that was it. After 20 years of living there, it's just like, I'm done.
And you guys didn't have a conversation about it?
I mean, he told me about it. And I said, I wish there was a reason why we needed a second apartment just to have it. But, it's cheaper at Manhattan Mini Storage. So if it's for storing our stuff, it's still expensive.
Yeah, you can't have an apartment in New York to store stuff.
No, of course not. But I mean, if we had a reason, like I needed a radio studio or, something that like work would pay for, but we don't have that scenario. So this is it. He and his mail, they're here.